Global ratings agency Standard & Poor's has raised its long-term ratings on Ghana to B from B-. The agency says the outlook is stable for Ghana's rating. The latest stance by the agency attributed the rise in the rating to stability in the banking sector as well as lower inflation. The rating agency Standard & Poor's explained that the stability Ghana's banking sector and effectiveness of the monetary policy have improved and will support the credibility of the inflation targeting framework over the period. The improvement in inflation and banking stability also indicates the effectiveness of the central bank's monetary policy. According to S&P, the stable outlook balances Ghana's fairly robust growth prospects, decrease in inflation and narrowing current account deficits against risk from still high budget deficits and a high stock of public sector debt. The central bank is embarking on a policy regime which aims at bringing inflation down to 8% plus or minus 2. This includes a reduction in the policy rate, which is the rate at which the central bank lends to commercial banks, from a region of 26% in November 2015 to 17% as of July this year. Although inflation had tripped from a region of 19.2% in March 2016 to 9.6% in March this year, it has gone up marginally to 9.9% as of August this year. Meanwhile, the rating agency has warned that it could lower Ghana's ratings if economic growth is significantly lower than expected and if fiscal deficits grow larger than expectations. However, Ghana could scale higher in its ratings if it implements and adheres to measures that materially alleviate pressures on public finances and reduce public debt levels, which stood at 154.3 billion cedis or 63.8% of GDP as at May this year. Meanwhile, we earlier spoke to an economist, Dr. Lord Mensah, who said the positive ratings from Standard & Poor's from B- to B would be meaningless if such progress is not sustained.
Yeah, rating of the B and you move from B- to B gives a good signal, but it's not all in everything that we should be happy of, because we're talking about investor confidence when we get a positive rating. But then we should understand that investors are getting sophisticated day in and day out. So just one time slip in B will not necessarily change the investors' mind on us. Since we started getting this rating somewhere in 2003, we've been changing between B, B-, B+, and over the years. There doesn't seem to be consistency in how we sustain our rating over the years. Normally, when we are doing analysis on this kind of rating, what we look at is the transition probability, whether you are moving from B to B- or B- to B, and consistently how you've been able to transit between B- to B. And that should determine whether the investor can have confidence in you or not. But then if you look at the pattern of the ratings over the years, it clearly tells you that Ghana as a country, we're not consistent. Somebody will go on the street and be asking questions, what does this signify to the ordinary Ghanaian? What you need to understand is that these ratings are not pocket-oriented. They are not individual level oriented.